Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. And in this morning's recipe, we're gonna make slow cooker pork loin with mushrooms and broccoli today. So, for this morning's recipe, all you need is you just need some olive oil cooking spray. And you also need a pork loin. Now let me describe to you what this pork loin is, because some of you guys on the channel have asked, well, can you make a different pork loin than your regular basic? So this pork loin is actually a roasted garlic, cracked black pepper pork loin. Okay, can you see it? Let me just walk up there. See, this is the pork loin we're going to use today. And we're also going to use some mushrooms and broccoli that I've seasoned. And I put olive oil on them, okay? So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do, as always, we always spray the slow cooker so that way nothing sticks to the bottom. So let's get this sprayed up. Now, when we have made a pork loin in the slow cooker before, so I don't want to hear, oh, this pork loin is not going to be good, because trust me, it is going to be a great pork loin. We have done a recipe of pork loin before. The last recipe we made a pork loin with mushrooms and onions. So I'm going to say this now. You can make a pork loin with any veggies you want. You can use carrots, potatoes, whatever veggies you want. Just whatever veggies you have on hand, okay? Honestly, I think this recipe would be good with carrots and potatoes, but that's just my preference. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and open up this pork tenderloin. Now, we're gonna get our gloves on, because I know the pork loin, once I throw it in there, I'm gonna have to kind of mess it a little bit. But the pork tenderloin is gonna cook. Now, this does have to cook for a little while. It's gonna cook on low for 4 to 6 hours. I prefer to cook it on low for 6 hours, just because this is just me, right? Because the pork loin will get more tender if you cook it longer. Okay, if you cook it too long, then it's gonna kind of get tough and dry, and we don't really want that. Okay. Now, we are making another slow cooker video on Saturday, and I'm not going to tell you, actually I will tell you, because I'm pretty sure you guys are going to want to know. So Saturday's recipe, we're going to make slow cooker black beans, and I really want to show you how to make them homemade. So that's what we're doing on Saturday, and I think they'll be good too. Okay, so back to this recipe. So we're going to go ahead and open up this pork loin. Now, just because I don't want this to go everywhere, because I know what it's like for the pork loin to go everywhere, we're going to actually just do this in our crock pot. Now, we're going to turn this pork loin upside down, because the juice can actually go into this crock pot. So then that way it'll be easier to get out of the slow cooker. So take your pork loin. Now, do not rush this recipe. I know there's a lot of juice right now, but it makes it easy for me. I probably could have made a bigger hole, but that's fine. Just take your pork loin out as best as you can. You'll probably have to like dig in there a little bit, but take it out of there. And you see how there's so much good liquid? It's fine. There's a little bit of liquid at the bottom. You don't have to worry about it, because as this cooks, this is going to produce a lot more liquid. Okay? Now there's juice, so we're not wasting anything. So all this gets poured into your slow cooker. Now it's totally fine if the juice is in there. That's fine, because it's part of the pork loin and its flavor, right? So now at this point, we're gonna go ahead and do our next step. So once your pork loin's in there, now I'm gonna put this pork loin kind of in the center though, because I want my veggies to be around the meat. So at this stage, we're going to take our mushrooms and our broccoli and put this around the meat, like so. Now, there's no need for you to, I mixed this very well with my tongs, so I'm just gonna put this around my meat like so, and it's totally fine if it covers up the meat a little bit, because it's a pork loin, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. But you want your veggies to be covered with the pork, or you want your pork loin to be covered a little bit, but not a lot, okay? Does that make sense? So this recipe is very easy to make. Now, like I told you in the beginning of the video, you can use any veggies you want. So if you don't like broccoli, don't use broccoli. You can use any veggies you want. You can use carrots, you can use potatoes, you can use zucchini, you can even use squash. Maybe, you know what? Maybe in the future, maybe I'll show you how to make a pork one with zucchini and squash. I have made a recipe with a pork tenderloin using potatoes and carrots. So if you guys want to see a different version of this recipe, you gotta let me know and I will make it for you guys, okay? Like I said, it's totally fine if it covers it up because that's just what it does, okay? So just kind of get it all over your pork loin, okay? This is gonna be so good. Now, these veggies are gonna cook down, so don't be afraid of what this looks like right now. You're probably thinking, oh, it doesn't look really that good. But you know what? The pork loin is going to cook down for quite a long time. Now this is gonna cook on low until dinner. So we gotta wait 6 hours. And I know what you're thinking, oh, I don't wanna wait that long. And you know, sometimes when you make a crock pot meal, the slow cooker takes a long time to heat up, but it also takes a long time to cook. Now, if you wanted to make this in your oven, you can make the same recipe in your oven, and you can cook it. It takes less time in the oven. I think the pork loin, when you normally make a pork loin in the oven, it usually takes about an hour. But as you've been noticing, I've been making the pork loin in the crock pot because the crock pot is really good. And I love the pork loin in the slow cook, honestly. I just want to tell you guys, I like it that way. That's just my preference. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take our gloves off and we're gonna wash our hands because we just touched raw meat. Okay, we still have to wash our hands, even though, and I will stress, I get a lot of questions on this. The questions I always get is, if you wear gloves, do you still have to wash your hands? And the answer to that is yes, you still do, because there is oil, you touched raw meat, and you still gotta wash your hands because it's still raw meat, okay? Like, see, I'm touching this right now, so I still gotta wash my hands even though I'm touching this, okay? So we're gonna get rid of this. I'll get that done in a minute, and I'm gonna wash my hands, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna show you what we're gonna do next to this pork loin. Now, of course, this recipe is very, very, very simple to make. It's not really difficult to do. You can, like I said, you can make this recipe tons of different ways. And you know what? If you don't want to use a pork loin, you can use any meat you want. You can use chicken, you can use beef, you can use a pork shoulder if you want, and you can make like a roast out of it. That essentially would be really, really good if you did like a roast out of it. That would be really good. So let me show you what this thing looks like, and then we'll proceed. We're gonna proceed with the recipe. Okay. This is what your pork loin looks like. So you see how you see the pork loin there, the mushrooms, and there's also broccoli. So again, this is what it looks like. And if you hear in the background, my alarm's going off for lunch because I'm hungry. So, all right, lid on. Let's put this in. This is heavy actually. Let's see this. And we're gonna cook this on we're gonna cook this on low for 4 to 6 hours. So plug it in. We're gonna hit program, 6 hours, enter low. There you go. All right, cover it, cook on low for 6 hours. Come back and we'll show you what it looks like. All right, so once we get into this recipe, we'll be back in a little while to show you what it looks like. Bye, vlog on, peace out, boom. Okay, bye guys.